Good afternoon, everybody. सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and FIDE Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu. Welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Association to this intermediate training session. So, Mukund Agarwal, Riyam Chawda, Samdani brothers and sisters, Dina Patel, Ramakrishna, and Birabhadra Singh, all are welcome. So, I would like to continue with the discussion of practical endgames and some interesting endgame studies, which is not easy, quite some difficult, some easy, and some good positions from middle game and master games. Suresh Bhai Chawda, good afternoon. White to play. Obviously, white is better. White has a pass pawn, more aggressive king, and it is his move. So white has got clear advantage. How should white take? I mean, increase his advantage or take initiative further? Yes, Birabhadra Singh, your idea I appreciate, but you need to calculate whether that is a winning end game, whether that is a winning. Rook into d7, knight check, whether it is winning. You need to calculate that. You have three choice. You can play rook into knight, white can play rook into, white can play king to d5. This is one possibility. White can play this move. White can also take the file. So these are the roughly possibilities. So don't jump end game. You need to slow down, calculate. You need to assess other areas, all the possibilities. Just don't look at one part of the board. I am giving you 3 minutes time. Don't make a rash decision. Please note down. When end game comes, you must slow down. You must slow down. Because suppose you play fast, you will make some error without looking. In a middle game, we are like it is like making a 100-meter race or 200-meter running race, going very fast. But at the end of the barricade, I mean the boundary line, you cannot stop. You will keep running. So after the middle game, you need to slow down. In the middle game, it is like some 200-meter, 100-meter race. In the end game, it is a marathon. Like you run in the marathon, you must slow down. Yes, rook into d7 is a wrong. Yes, Virabhadra, your answer is wrong. Now the point is, rook into d7 is bad move. King d5 bad move. Why king d5? Because the king and the rook in the same line. Knight into pawn will come. This is the problem. The pin does not work. Now here, pin does not work. Rook check will come. If you play this, rook check. And I will pick up the rook. And if you play knight into knight, rook check. So king d5 is a bad move. Rook into d7 bad move because after rook into d7, king into knight check, anything, knight into take, and now king d5. He has got this position. It is not good enough. The reason is the counter play f5 g4 you have to take into account. For example, now I can play maybe here direct f5 g4. Now this pawn under attack. You cannot take that. Now this king into pawn into. So it is king is fixed. Even if you push, this is lost. The king can always take care of the pawn. The king is in zugzwang now. So RD7 is a bad move. It is a bad move. I will give the question mark. So what is the correct move? You must not hastily. You have to play RB1. This is the correct way to play. And now black has nothing better than waiting. Now go to the seventh rank. Now he will wait. There is nothing better. Now you can go. So he will start action, but now rook. And now the rook is watching the pawn and ready to come here also. In case you play, so it is not a good idea. The position clear better for white. White should be having, slowly it will win the game. So you cannot, this is one thing, my suggestion, you have to slow down. I'm not talking to any particular player. I'm talking in general. When end game comes, बड़े बड़े लोग चकमा खाएंगे, बड़े बड़े महास हस्ती 2700 2800 वाला प्लेयर भी चकमा खाएंगे. So do not underestimate the end game arena. You have to slow down. One senior friend told me, he was not a very strong player, but he gave me a good piece of advice that you must leave 5 minutes on your clock, never consume all the time. Why? Because you have 5 minutes, you can judge the end game, not make hasty moves. You must make careful moves because there is no fourth stage. After end game, there is nothing. So you have to be careful. So obvious move like rook into knight is losing the game. So RB1. Now he has nothing better. Knight he has to wait, or whatever, rook c7, it doesn't matter. So wait, this finish. Zugzwang. He plays f5 is not working now. Now f5, I'm in time to keep a watch on the pawn. Rook does not move. Now knight does not move. So and after this I will take and I will play rook h8 and control. Okay, I want to give one more position to you. One more position. A position by a Russian composer. We need to notice there are some simple times. Sometimes in the heat of the battle, suppose you play carelessly, you throw away your chance. For example, let us say white king on d5 and black on h6 and black queen over somewhere here and bishop and rook and pawn, pawn, pawn. Now the position, it is rook and bishop versus queen, but black king is very poorly placed. So the position, white to play, white is winning. White to play, white will win the game. Hello, Akshar Jala. 1, 2, 3. Even in a blitz game, one can find this. Please check out. Please check out quickly. Yeah. Priyam Tawada, rook h4. Now only square. Now rook g4. You have to take then check. And then I take the queen. So these are very quick answers. You need to follow. Okay, I give you slightly harder one now. Gradually, I will make it more and more and more harder. So let us say king g4, king and pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then rook. White to play. White to play. What is the result? Can white win the game? Dina Patel and Priyam Chavda, congratulations for finding the quick answer. Now this position is interesting. Dina Patel, very good. Dina Patel, congratulations. H7, rather forced. And now pawn takes pawn. The point is, the rook is poorly placed. King is watching the square. Rook pawn is watching the square. Now king takes pawn is not good. The point is, after the move here, this is the correct. This is blunder. If you will play h6, I will give the move double question mark. Double question mark. King into, then you queen, pawn checkmate. Or rook, pawn checkmate. Knight will lose the game. If you make a knight, you lose queen checkmate. So h6 is bad move. The correct move, pawn into. No, 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 no. Pawn into. And now he has to do something. Now when you take the pawn, what now he will do? He will give some, maybe check. Nothing else. You cannot take the pawn. Cannot take the pawn. The threat is to queen. 1 2. The threat is to queen and then queen. So check takes check. Now you have to take the pawn. You have to take the pawn. If you give checking kg3 and then kf2 will win. It is winning. So you have to take the pawn. King into. Now king into. The point is, you play queen, it is a stalemate. But a rook will come. Okay? Here, it is a rook and then winning. This is a rook. Under promotion. This is winning. So, this important thing is that we need to notice the final points in endgame. So, I will give another study of very interesting study. King, king, bishop, bishop. I gave this study in Bodak Dev. I have given this study in Bodak Dev. White to play. White to play and win. White is winning. How? Dina Patel. Correct answer F7. Okay, Dina. So black's answer is forced. You have to stop queen. You have to stop the queen. Dina, I have answered your move. You played f7, I have gone bishop stopping. Everywhere, anytime, you should know the theme, method, themes. There are two themes in this position. There are two or three themes. There are three themes. Okay, Dina, well played. You play bishop g7. This is an excellent move. Now, black makes a fine move. Fine move. The threat is pawn check. So, your answer is forced. You have to play pawn into pawn. No other choice. You cannot queen. You cannot queen. I will take it and there is no win. And rather winning for white, black. So, you have to take the pawn. And now, he comes king d3. What should white do now? Huh? No, no, Dina, not king. This is a bad move, Dina. Bad move. Bishop check is winning. If you play king e1, bb4 check will win the game. This is winning. Followed by pawn check will come. Queen. So not bishop. Hello, Parvatakkar. Now white to play. White should do something very quickly. I am sure Veerabhadra Singh and Mukund Agarwal, they know, they have seen this position. I did it in product. Now theme number one, that second theme now, he has to make under promotion. Queen is bad because if you do the queen, it will be a stalemate. For example, check. Now king here, bishop check. He has to take it and now queen. And it is a stalemate. That is why you understand why he gave the pawn f3. Why he gave f3. Now you understand. Now because now this is a stalemate. So he cannot do a queen. This is a bad move. F8 queen, it is stalemate. It will draw. It is a bad move. This is bad. The point is you have to under promotion. Now this correct move is not to make an under promotion. For example, you bring a bishop. Now there is no stalemate. Now there is queen is no more controlling. So there is no stalemate. And when you make a bishop, now e2 check. So king f2 will come. Okay. King e1, it is bad. Suppose you play king e1, he will take and enter. He will sweep all the pawns. He will play king into pawn and then next king here and draw. So king e1 is bad. So you have to play king e2. Sorry, f2. King f2. Now after the move king f2, you have king d2. Now the idea is pawn queening. But survive today, fight tomorrow. Check. Takes, takes. Now bishop second. This is a winning position. So it is important under promotion, the stalemate possibility. I like the idea, stalemate. Here, what did I do? Did I overwrite it? Okay, I did wrong. So first of all, you have to make support, leave that pawn. Okay, okay, welcome Adi Jain. So I would like to show some more positions, from the games of great players and masters. One more game I want to show you. White king, black king. White has four pawns, one, two, three, four, and maybe one more pawn. B and then rook, rook. Black has got also five pawns. Black also has got this pawn, one, two, three, one, two, three. So, and this is a pawn here. So this position, it is white to play. How to evaluate the position? White to play. Worth Godani and Parvatakar, welcome. Hmm. White to play. What should white do now? These are all well-known positions, but you must know the plan. Dina Patel, King E4, aggressive king. Eh? Partha Singh Jhala, good afternoon. So, what is the correct move for white? I do not agree with King E4. King E4 does not work. Not the best move. No, Priyam Chavda, not the best move. Dina Patel, E4 is not, I told already, E4 is not best. King E4 is not best. The point is a pawn breakthrough. This move wins. Now, I want to create a tactical target. My idea is to create a tactical target here. Okay, this is losing. I'll take and take. Now I have a pass pawn. This is faster. This is faster. And you come here and gradually run into zugzwang. So you cannot do that. And you take pawn into pawn, also losing. Also losing. King f4, king f6. And then I play h4. You will run into zugzwang now. You allow my king entry is lost. So he cannot take pawn into pawn loses. Okay. So king it is zugzwang. Now you will lose one of the pawn. You are coming, then king to coming to e5. I will play king enter. Okay, this is winning. So he cannot take that pawn. f5 is a lovely move. F5 is a lovely move. Now g5. This is the best answer. Pawn into pawn is bad, or I will take. So g5 only correct. But after g5, now e4. Now e4. It should win. See, you made a tremendous improvement. Compared to the original diagram, you have forced black to play g5 and it is a tremendous improvement now. Now king d6 because e5 is coming. You cannot allow e5 and this will paralyze the position. This is bad. So he will play king to d6. King d6 which is coming to support the pawn and also pawn hole on e5. This is the best. But now is the time you return rook. Waiting for him to come. So I will play rd1. So rook a1 and now the position will play itself. Now he will play h4. If this is bad, king f4 will come. So he will play some h4 move. Then what else I will do? What I can do now? This is bad. Now supposing we play crossover, king c6. In this case, I will play king to e3. Should win slowly. Rook to d8, cutting off the king. So that rook to d8, cutting off the white king, and now 2-1 majority he wants to play. But in that case, I will play now maybe f6 with the preparing to play e5 and king entering. It should win. Now rook f6, rook d6 does not work. So this is how the game should continue, and it is winning position. Okay, all right. So I will go to the next diagram. This was who? White was Smyslov, black was Pilnik in the Amsterdam Olympia 1956. White Smyslov, black Pilnik. Okay, I leave this. Then I will take you to what about this position? Actually, I have done all these things, not exact same position, but similar themes in my discussion of rook and pawn endgames. Now black to play, white is two pawns up, but it is now black to play. Can black survive? Hello, Sritu Nandi and Deva Makwana. Welcome. दो pawn down है, but black has the move. If white to play, win is very easy. Win is very easy. Can black draw the game? Dina Patel says he can draw. Show me the draw. I agree that you want to draw the game. Show me the plan. Dina Patel, now I will tell you there are two variations. One variation, black takes the pawn. Black takes the pawn, will lose the game. This variation is losing. He will give rook check. Now the queening square is this. So you should go closer so that you are in a position to come somewhere for the defense. So king a5. Now he will play king. If idea he wants to advance the pawn. You know there is no mating pattern. There is no mating pattern. He will give check. So he will play some king e4 move. Okay. Now what are you going to do now? Now maybe he will play king a6. Now d4. Now king. Now rook b2. So he will give a check. I will not block. Now rook e8. Now he will push the pawn. Now like Fisher Gligoric, like you will challenge to cross over. Now if you go back, king will come and draw. Suppose you go don't exchange, then you will cross over. So rook into rook, king into and king pawn and winning, winning the game. So you cannot play rook into king into pawn. You cannot play. So this is bad move. The correct move draw. Rook h1 is a draw because after the move he will play rook check. Now rook check and now rook. No progress. There is no progress. The pawn check is nothing. Now there is no problem. He wants to drive this check and send the king back. And after that it is much easy. Rook move does not come. It's a draw. I have discussed, you can go back to my lecture maybe around 14, 15, 16 means the episode maybe 14 to 20, 30 somewhere around that. You can check. I have showed similar positions. So rook into pawn here this is lost. This is lost. After array, after array, here after this it is lost. There is no other move. If you don't do this now, it will come one by one. This does not help. Lost. Okay. Now I go to the other positions. Capablanca versus Edward Lasker. Okay. So let us say now Capablanca is white here and Edward Lasker is black. So place pawn push check and now g4. So he plays pawn 3-2 majority and now push. And now Capablanca makes a pawn breakthrough. Outside pass pawn. Push. Now the point is, after you bring king, now next move king, now the king is already tied down to the pawn. So he makes h6. Idea, now Jugzwa. Now this is a main threat. and then pawn will queen. Capablanca, Edward Lasker, 1913. 1913, London Classics. So after the move, he played the fantastic move. Hopeless position. आप ये करो तो ये आ जाएगा. ये नहीं चलेगा. Pawn into pawn wins. Or pawn into pawn, then h7 wins. h7 wins. So very well calculated, and everything is crystal clear. All this thing is forced. Nothing better. You play a4, a5. I will play a4, g4. So now you have to stop. Otherwise, the pawn f5 is coming. So you have to stop. There is nothing better. This is the move. This is the beautiful move. And after this, f5, forced or pawn f6 coming. Winning. Okay, I should have asked you that actually at that critical moment, I should have asked you. Now I want to show you a game between Reti and Marshall. Reti was very good in hand game, and he was very good in middle game also. Richard Reti. I will go all the way the position. Maybe here. Okay, I will go to the particular position. White is Reti, black is Marshall. So forced. Now white has made a wall. You can see the knight is now controlling this pawn. So black king cannot come. Black king cannot come to e4. So black played king f6. So he will make a pawn move. Okay. Okay. What should white do? Reti won the game, but you need to find the plan now. Hello, Vela. How are you? White is winning, but how? क्या करेंगे भाई? No, no, no. No, Ramakrishna, not NB4. NB4 is not the best move. The point is very simple. King pawn endgame, it is like a king pawn endgame practically. Knight pawn endgame, king pawn endgame, there are a lot of similarity. The white wins by creating zugzwang. Now it is white to move. But if it is black to play, if it is black to play, black is lost. Black cannot leave the pawn. Black cannot play king f7. Black cannot push the pawn. Black cannot move king because of pawn d6. If you move king, pawn d6, pawn d7. That means black to play zugzwang. So you need a triangulation. You need a triangulation. It's a simple move. Abhi now this is white to play. Now black to play zugzwang. The pawn cannot move. The pawn cannot move. One. The king cannot move. The king moves. Suppose you go here, I will take the pawn. Suppose you go here, I will push the pawn. If king here, now king here d6 wins. That means just create the same position. King g3, king f5, king f5. Now king f3. Now king f6. Now king zugzwang. You cannot go. If you go, pawn push is winning. Pawn push is over. Over. So this is only move to stay, but then Zugzwang. The same diagram, and now who's move? Black to play. Lost. So this is how Reti won the game. Zugzwang. Triangulation. See, if you play here NB4, no, I think point is here. No. This is Reti Laskar. Okay. Here the point is, the point is NB4, he will repeat. There is no point. NB4, you can even come here. Now you push the pawn, I am going to attack. Now if pawn push is not possible. I am going to attack the pawn now. So NB4 I can wait. You can't push the pawn. Whereas just a Zugzwang, just create now Zugzwang. Just pushing the pawn. It will be mate. What is Reti opening? Reti opening is, this is Reti opening का मतलब क्या है? NF3 BG2 castle. Knight F3. Now you play Knight F6 G3. Now you play this will be King's Indian. I mean classical King's Indian. You play D5 BG2. I will not care what you want. I castle. Now you play. So N3 G3 BG2 castle. Now I have option to do D3 C4 B3. So I am not committing the center pawns. Not committing the pawns. Pawn D E pawn C pawn. E pawn D pawn C pawn. I will not commit. Just castle. That is Reti. It can go to King's Indian. It can go to Catalan. It can go to pure English or Benoni reverse. Anything. So Reti opening is not committing the pawn, just castle quickly. This is Reti. So I will go to other openings, other diagrams. Okay. White to play. Find out about it. What is the answer here? Dina Patel says King C4. Now this move he played. Okay. Black to play. What should black do now? What should black do? Okay, somebody may dislike. It is a free world. If somebody does not like my lecture, he will dislike. It's okay. I have nothing to lose. So I'm doing my job. The point is here. The point is here. After the move, rook e3, it is bad. This is a bad move. Black loses his winning chances. Now the point is he will win the pawn. The point is black will now come and win the pawn. He will win, but this is not winning. This is not correct. After the move, the king comes, and now it is not winning. This is not winning position. But actually, what is the correct move? You should not play rook into, rook b8, rook b8. Now you force the king. You have to play king to c4, then rook a8. Now he will hunt the pawns. He will go after these pawns and then creating a pass pawn. Now you can go king coming to king coming to d4 loses. He'll rook attacks. Now this is winning. Pawn pulls, knight in. I am not going to be with. Just come here, finish. Zugzwang, two pass pawns. So king b4 does not work. And after the move, rook here. Suppose you play king. Suppose you play king d4. Still rook. It should win the game. Rook is too powerful now. So just come. Force king. Now king. Zugzwang. It will run into Zugzwang. This is a very simple method. You know. Yes. Now see this position. This is a very simple bad move. Okay. Now I will tell you what black missed. I will tell you. Now it appears that white is winning. Not really so. Okay. The position now, whatever mistake has been done. So what should white do now? What should white do? It is a basic king pawn endgame. In the game, white played the bad move. White played the bad move, king, and lost the game. So end game, the time is important. One move, everything is gone in end game. So this bad move loses. Now pawn push. Now it is queening in. You cannot stop the pawn. Now after the move, it is just winning. Three moves. Knight pawn. So it is lost now. Now you push the pawn push. It is easily winning. But here, why this bad move? Why this? This is a draw. This is a draw. Now simple. This is a fantastic move. Now the point is, now you have five moves, and white has also five moves. एक दो तीन चार पांच ये भी पांच queen है. And you take the pawn, I will catch the pawn. Now I will catch. Or you come here, doesn't matter. Catch. So this is simple move. After the move, this is horrible move. This simple move, this is fantastic. Elementary errors. You know, these are called elementary errors. Okay. Now this is uh, who is this? Master Willis. Huh? I would like to show you some position. Okay. Black is exchange up. Double attack. Check. Now how should black play? White resources. Now white is aiming at the pawn. And if you come to this point, he will give a check. And if you take g4, check. That is the idea. If black will come, he will give a knight check, king into g4, knight check. At the moment the pawn is attacked, what are you going to do now? Now this is bad. Knight f7 check and I will take it. So now what should black do? Okay, bye Vela. Now what should black do now? The point is that black's threat is no problem. So black anyway enters. He is not afraid of the knight check. Idea now knight check, and if you take the pawn, there is a fort. But after the knight check, you don't have to take the pawn. Rook into knight wins. This is the point of black. So king f4. If you do not play king f4, it is a draw. Now suppose you play push the pawn, it is draw. Or you push the pawn, it is a draw. So he should play aggressive move, king. And knight check. Idea, if you take, I will fork. But rook into knight, zugzwang. Now just wait. Zugzwang. You can, any push is met by counter push. So if you push, I will push. Or the other way. G5 means h5. Gradually, black will win both the white pawns. Okay, no problem. See, Vela, anytime you are welcome in my class. No problem. Take care, Vela. So this is good. So rook into knight is winning the game. Zugzwang. All right. Next. This is a game. Matthew Turner. Matthew Turner is white and some game British Grandmaster. Matthew Turner. Oh, something like this. Forced, rather forced. And now he comes here. Now, actually, in this position, this is not the best move. Okay, he has come here, and now this is not the correct move. He should have played. He should have played rook f3, rook f3, and now rook here, and now rook here. He will enter with the king. If you have to move the rook, now you cannot go any other move. Anyway, I will cross over. So he should go and attack. In this case, I will come. I will come here and take winning the game. Rook into take winning. But he played a bad move here. He played this rook f5. Now this is a draw only. Now black can draw the game. How? No problem, Vela. No problem. I am just doing a free job. I am not worried about criticism. Anybody may like, dislike. How it matters to me. It is no problem for me. Anyway, the whole point is this is a mistake because now rook takes pawn, now king, now it is a draw. Rook into rook, king into. The beautiful draw is king and the pawn push. Opposition, pawn push. You have to take it, no choice. And now after taking opposition draw, take draw, king, king, no progress. If you push the pawn, it is draw. You come here again opposition. Draw. So there are typical errors. I mean, here the position is still winning, but he should have played here rook. Maybe rook here. This rook here. So you come here, and now maybe just wait. Maybe one move waiting. Maybe rook here, rook here, rook here. And now if you come, I'm coming winning. But he played the bad move. No. He played the bad move and draw. Okay. Next game I will go. This is Welling versus who is that? Welling. Welling. I am Welling is white, and okay. All right. Bad move. This is a bad move. The position it should be a draw, but now this move is bad move. Knight e5 is bad. Why you are entering king pawn end? So what is the correct move here? Black should play the correct move king d5. This is the correct move. After king d5, he cannot lose. Now king into a5. Then what else? If knight moves, I will get counter attack. So king into a5. Okay. But now king d4. It should be a draw now. No more win. Knight f4 will come. And then I take one pawn, then sacrifice. Now I go for one pawn. So this is king d5 was an easy draw. Easy draw. But instead, he played the bad move. Knight. And now knight into e5. Take, take, king f4. Now black to white to play and win the game. A critical moment. I will tell you what is critical about it, because this pawn is going to fall, and this is a bishop pawn. Rook pawn and bishop pawn, there is always rich resources of draw stalemate. So if you play mechanically, it is a draw. You will get queen, but pawn will reach seventh rank. Now king takes pawn 1, 2, and 3 moves, 5 moves. So king moves and 4 moves, 5 moves. So this is not working. The correct winning plan, you should, because it is a bishop pawn, the correct move is king. This is the correct move, and it should win the game. It is winning. Okay. Do you agree? Now king into f3 will come. Now a5. Now where you will move the king? Where should you move the king? No, you should not go over there, because queening check. Just push the pawn first. So you will play a6. Now king e2. This is bad because the pawn is queening with check. Natural move, it is bad. King e2. Now pawn push, queen. Yeah, this should win the game. Queen g2 should win. This is the point of kb4. So white made correct decision after the move. This is bad move. Take, and now king b4 wins. The correct move for black was king d5 and draw. So these are typical errors in endgame. I am trying to exploit to you. Now a game of Korchnoi. Victor Bhai Korchnoi. Did I keep that game? Yes, keep. Korchnoi and Trent. Okay, this is Korchnoi is white and black is Trent, London. So here, black to play. The game can be draw. These are errors. You should know. What should black do? Correct play. Rook and pawn ending, no problem. This position is certainly a draw. But only if you find the correct plan. I am giving you time. Please think. No answer. No answer yet. Black can draw the game. I have told you very simple plan. Rook and pawn end game. You have a pass pawn. Black has a pass pawn. So what should black do? Black has a pass pawn here. So the rook should go behind the pass pawn. Very simple. And this being a rook pawn, the king should do a job to defend. Or I would say wrong way. I'm putting wrong way. The king should job for defense. So this is a draw. This position it should draw. For example, after rook f8, what are you going to do? You will play h4. So I will come rook. Now you will come here on push. Now you play h5. Nothing better than king. It should draw. Ultimately, both these pawns will exchange at sooner or later. And this being a rook pawn, the king will defend. Simple way to draw. This is very simple line. But instead of playing rook f8, instead of playing the correct rook f8, he went for king pawn endgame. Because it is like counting. You have a rook pawn, I have a rook pawn. So both are having rook pawn on the five moves each. A bad move. You see, this is the simplest road to draw I showed you. Rook coming and you play rook a, then rook f5, then king comes to draw. Place the rook here, then the king comes to this draw. But instead, he played the bad move. The king pawn ending. It will lose. He was expecting that he will start rolling. The counting was you queen, I queen. You queen, I queen, it's a draw. But Victor Korchnoi, correct move. This is excellently played. King. Forced to play king. Now king, push, king, forced to come. Otherwise it is lost, gone. This is simple. Now I will exchange king, pawn and king. You have to come here. You cannot come here. You cannot come kb2 because you will play pawn push and will queen winning. King pawn endgame. Or you play kb1 queen and queen. Just exchange the queen and winning the king pawn endgame. What is wrong? This is winning. So the whole point is a player should not think mechanically. Good afternoon, Devas. The calculation was, he says, क्या कर लेगा तुम्हारा जय जय हमारा भी जय जय ये करेंगे तो हम ये आएगा पुश पुश ड्रॉ but this fantastic move this fantastic fortune and now lost forced winning typical errors, these are typical errors. Okay, I give you one more position from between two grandmasters. एंड गेम एरिना में बहुत मिस्टेक होते हैं बच्चे लोग. ओके सो लंबा गेम है. आई एम नॉट डिस्कसिंग अर्लियर भी मिस्टेक हुआ है वो मिडिल गेम को छोड़ो. सो लेट अस गो टू नाउ दिस मूव. किंग कम्स. सो हियर what should black do now? What should black do? Actually इसका जो लास्ट पार्ट है some textbooks are there. Okay, I give you time. I give you time. Just like Korsuno's game. Just like last game, here in that game, Trent made a mistake. Here, Grandmaster Gustafsson makes a mistake. Here, Gustafsson makes a mistake. White is Luke Maxon, a Grandmaster. Here, very young Grandmaster from England. And black is Gustafsson, also a well-known Grandmaster who is doing written lot of books and commentary. He made this bad move, not good move. After this move, gradually he went down. He went down. You'll run into Zugzwang now. Now the point is black run into Zugzwang. Lost. This is lost now. Cannot defend. Queen. And now check. 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 And now this pawn is far away and two advanced pawn. Queen ending. This is three moves and this is like a mating net will come. This is checkmate is coming. Lost. The game continued like this. Winning. Only move. Only move. And it's lost. So the same mistake like last game, what happened? He played that rook c5 and lost. Corsonet beat that king pawn endgame. So instead of playing this bad move, Instead of playing rook h5, I will go not this move. The position is a draw. He need not lose the game. What would you do? Black has no problem. Black has a pass pawn. So the correct move is to play rook e8. Rook e8. This is correct move. What happened? Now what you can do? You will play king f4. King f4. Then rook f8 check. It should draw. If after you move king here is cut off. King here is bad. So you will play king to e5. Now king e5, g5. There is a substantial improvement in black position. This will hold the balance and pakka draw. No problem about it. Now you play king, I will cut off. I don't want the king entry. I will cut off. Black is safe. Very safe. I mean, art of playing endgame. You can see this is an error. Because of this, he lost the game. Because of this rook h5. I should give this move a question mark. Rook e8, exclamation, equal. And now rook f6 also important to have a cutoff. The game black is very safe. Now the king is cut off. So pass pawn versus pass pawn. Nothing. The king is nearer the pawn. The king is also near the pawn. So it is very safe. Typical errors. A player should not make some rook h5 and now after this move, it is now white is better. Okay, in the same like last game error. So please make sure we should avoid similar errors. Where is the Korsunai? Where is Korsunai? In that game also here this is coming. This is another. So this is after the move it is safe. It is a draw. Rook ending. The rook will come here. King e6 draw. But this bad move and lost. This rook c5. Double question mark. Double question mark. Rook and rook and now king f3. Fantastic move. So these are the errors. So I will show you that before reaching a typical endgame, you need to see not mechanical thinking. What black was thinking, white will rush and black will rush. अरे ना king आ गया और हो गया काम. And I like the way he played. Okay, I leave this. Now I go to the next game. Feeling हो गया Mamed Yaro and Ivan Sopolov. Mamed Yaro is a very strong grandmaster. 28, 28, 20, 30 rating था. And Ivan Sokolov is a good grandmaster and a good coach. He is now currently coach of the Iran team, I think. Naturally, the Iran players are doing very good. So Ivan Sokolov, okay. So here it is. I will go to the position directly. Okay. So what should Black do now? Very important. What should Black do now? Black can equalize easily. White has got better pawn structure and more active king, but very simple draw at the moment. Yes, any comment? This is simple draw. You just get rid of the double pawn. This is simplest way to draw the game. Now you take pawn into pawn, bishop into pawn, absolutely fine. But in this position, he played some move which is not the best move. He played here b5. idea. Now black wants, he has got two pawns, and here he wants to do this, and create a pass. If had he played this move, it is very easy for black. But players are always ambitious. They do not feel the pulse of the position. So he played b5. And b5 means now he played. This is bad. Now white should take advantage of the situation. Now white can play pawn king here. And this is now much stronger. After the move king f3, now g5 is too late. Now if you play g5, it is too late now. Now I will attack where the bishop is going. Where the bishop will go now. Bishop g attacking the pawn. You have to attack something desperately. If you retreat, pawn f5 will come. Pawn into pawn will come. So you attack something desperately. What else? Or you want to go somewhere like this, bad moves. So he will attack some pawn to gain a tempo. But now s3. Now pawn into pawn. This is very good. F2 king. This bishop cannot participate in the queen side now. Okay. White is having no problem. But he threw away the advantage. b5 king, and now bishop king. Now king d5 is coming. There is no time for bishop s2. Bishop s2, knight d4 winning. Because pawn take and knight c6 check. White on top now. Simple mistakes. Simple mistakes. So chances come in the game. A player need to focus. A 2700, 2800 players. Okay. From there, I will go to the position, a more critical juncture. I will go further. I will go further. What should black do now? What should black do? What do you mean by virgin? I am married and I have two kids. First name, are you a virgin? What do you mean by virgin? I have one son, one daughter. I am married person. Hello, Devers. Now black to play. Black play correct move can equalize still. इतना सिंपल पोजीशन में बहुत वेरिएशन है. Okay, I will tell you, in the actual game, black played the bad move f6 and lost. This is very quickly lost. This is winning. Easy win. Now, if you push f5, king is entering. Now, if you pawn f5, k e5 winning. And now, king zugzwang. It will run into zugzwang. Zugzwang and lost. If you push f5, king e6, it will lead to checkmate. And king cannot move. However, this position, this is a bad move. Now, here, instead of playing f6, here it is a draw. Now, king. Now, the point is, you should not play king f5. Many players, you should tempting moves you should avoid here. This is bad to play king f5. Now king e7. It should draw now. Now k d4. And now king e6. Draw. So king comes again draw. I will maintain. Okay. So he should have played simply king e6. This is the correct move. K e6 is the correct move. Draw. He played the game f6 and lost the game. This is a bad move he lost. After king e6, it is a draw. So these are very strong grandmasters. They make the mistakes. Okay, all right. So let me show you two games on French defense. White is uh, white is some grandma. Black is Victor. Bronstein versus Korchnoi. I want to show you the game. Bronstein Korchnoi. The main line of Ninja is Tal's aggressive move. Player like Smyslov and all, they all prefer knight f3. This is a good position. Positional line. So aggressive move, queen d4, queen into. Now pawn into pawn is not a problem because of knight e2. Knight e2. Okay. So defending c3 and not allowing this, after rook g8, I can take and then return the queen. Actually, my opinion, white is always easily having advantage against French. But I revised my opinion after I saw some analysis, good analytical work by Anish Giri. Anish Giri showed lot of interesting ideas for black. So everything is not so easy for white. So this position, so here queen c7, queen takes rook, now knight e2, transpose. So this is the best line. White does not mind pawn into c3, queen can come back and take. Okay. So basically, French defense, I read two authors I admire. I read a book by Ullman, excellent book written on the French defense. If a player wants to play French, he should study that book. Absolute good basic ideas. Excellent book. In his time, he was the one of the best player in the world for black side. Ullman. Then another player wrote a book, Vlatko Kovacevic, another fantastic book on French defense. Of course, I guess Nigel Short has written a book also for black. on a French defense. And I would say, the great works of Baganian, you know, Luputian, and Korchnoi, they have all created fantastic games on French. So among the world champions, Petrosian, Smyslov, Botvinnik, so they have also got very good success in the French defense. Okay, coming to this game, so Bishop D7. Now, this is supposed to be White has a simple plan. He wants to just advance the H pawn, and White King is safe. It looks like everything is safe, and this was supposed to be advantage in those days. 1977-78. This was really doing well. You may note that Robert Bobby Fischer, he always had problem against French. I mean, not with weak players, strong grandmasters. He was having problem. Petrosian or even Kovacevic. Even though he was one of the greatest players, the whole point is center. That white center becomes vulnerable. It is not so in Karokan. Karokan, I have a choice to advance or hold on. So Karokan center is no problem for white. But French center is always very volatile. So H5, white just keep pushing. Okay, so what to do now? White is playing all very nice moves, standard strategy. So this is the first move that it is having an interesting plan. Okay, here what should black do now? A critical moment. A critical moment. Please find out. By now, I hope you have got the answer. The correct move is knight into e5, destroying the center completely. A very fantastic move by Ullman. Now ND6 check is not working. The point is, if you are looking for ND6 check, idea queen into queen b7 is coming. Now this looks good, but it is not working. After ND6 check, what I can do? Suppose you go ND6 check, queen d6. Now queen into b7, king d8. So now queen a8 check. There is no further check. This is bad. Endgame is bad. Now if you give queen check, he will play king e7 and run away. कुछ नहीं होगा. Now you understand the idea of bishop e8. You understand why he had played bishop e8. This is the point. This is the point. Variation. So knight d6 does not work. That means you have to take pawn into. Okay. After pawn into, now bishop c6, bishop d3. Now again another fine move by black. It's very difficult, getting a good position and maintaining the advantage. What should you do now? Vinawar is complicated. I agree. Vinawar is complicated, but that is the main line. The French players must be ready for a positional struggle against Taras. Or you should play Vinawar in C6, either BB4 or knight F6. I want to, first I will study that Anis Giri's French is very, really great. So let me go through that, then I will take a session, not few sessions on French. I have already got the material, so I will study that and then I will discuss how to play some lines of French for black. Now the point is, the danger is all the time the check is the coming. This is the one. So you get rid of the check problem. And you should not stay here because on the line of rook, king c7. King c7. Now no surprise check will enter. Fantastic move. I would give the move an exclamation mark. Exclam. Beautifully played. Now king f2. And this is the time now you can play rook into rook h5. White is better. Black is clearly better now. He is helpless. Now e pawn is weak. There is no clear checks or nothing. Lost position. Winning. All over now. Black is winning. So I appreciated the idea of Ullman. This is the great idea. When this one, Exclam, he has seen deep. He has seen that plan. Means on 18th move, he has already seen this plan. After this move, this is a running. Wonderful, wonderful. Now I will discuss about one more French game by Ullman. French defense, there are only three lines. Now d5. Nobody means practically nobody plays exchange variation. The reason is that it does not promise a tangible advantage. I mean symmetrical structure 4-4-3-3. So it is having no life. So black has already a free hand. So black can play c5 actively. Black can play c6. So bd3 is not coming easily. Then it is not that great. So exchange variation is nothing. The critical line is French advance. This actually it is not easy. I mean, Grandmaster Sesniko played all his life only this against French. In my opinion, for less experienced players to who starting chess or after novice stage, you should play advanced very easy line. The plan is clear to maintain the center pawn f6, f4, c5, c3, knight f3, knight bd3, castle. White controls the center, but black gets counterplay systematically. So, advanced variation is the easiest way for upcoming players to play against French. Though French players have no problem. French players don't mind advanced variation. For example, now c5, c3. Now knight c6, knight. Now this is supposed to be most popular. You can play also knight f3. Knight f3. Now you can play bishop d7. You can play knight e7. Idea pawn into pawn and double attack the center. You will get the pawn with advantage. You can do this. Knight e7 is a good move. I like knight e7. You can do this. And here also after the move, white can play this be3. I mean this is called the Kuprichik. Grandmaster Kuprichik has been very successful against the French with this b3 line. Black should play maybe pawn into maybe queen b6, correct move, queen d2, and now bd7. Idea, now he wants to bring the rook quickly. Now knight f3, now you can play some knight e7. Now bishop d3, you can play pawn into pawn, pawn into pawn, and knight f5. This is some pressure is there. Rook will come quickly. So Kupritic variation is good. Okay, but in the actual this game, what happened? A3. With the idea B4. One of the main idea he wants to play B4 and BB2. I mean supporting the center. So Queen B6, Knight F3. Now we want to make a quick break on B3, Knight F5. Now there are two plans. One is to play F6, one is to play Knight. This is a more modern approach. Knight F5 is more modern approach because I don't want to allow the break. And if you insist the move break, then Bishop D7. Idea, you take, I will pin. You take, I will pin that. So this is still not coming. So this is more modern approach. But even this is also good move. This is also good move. Black center is comparatively better. Alternately, if you take the pawn into f6, knight development. If ef6, knight f6, bd6, very easy game for black. So he plays pawn into pawn. Now knight h4. White wants to attack. White is a grandmaster Peter Anders. White is grandmaster Peter Anders. Okay, so I think this is a bad move. I think at the moment when this is a bad move, you should at the moment you should not play. There are variations. Now here there are many variations here. Now h4 is a good move. The modern grandmaster prefer h4 with the idea h5 and h6. So white has many chances. So at the moment somehow this variation is not appealing to me personally. I am not in favor of white. This sort of pawn break at the moment. So you should have gone b to h4. Black is safe center, fantastic center. Okay. So this is a really good position. However, a mistake I will tell you that he could have played. I will one mistake Black did. Oh, this is okay. This is standard exchanging the bad bishop for white's good bishop. Here, this is a critical moment. What should Black do? Black has a very simple plan. Now, there is nothing on the king side. This is actually a weak backward weak pawn. So you should get rid of this bishop into bishop first. Now take rook into. Then you play rook f8. I like black position because this is a target, this is a target, and this is also knight is watching important square. I think excellent position black has got. And after the queens, suppose you come queen exchange, thereafter black has a superior endgame. Simple move. But instead, he makes a bad move. He plays here directly. One careless move, everything changes. One careless move. Now he plays bishop g4. He will not get a second chance. That is why I think you one game of I showed you. White was Mikhail Tal, black was Short. Tal had outplayed Short in Subotica International French defense. But one careless move and he lost the winning chances. Similar situation here. The position black is clear better. Exchange the bishop and bring rook c8. But bad move. Now he will not get chance to exchange the bishop. So one has to be very careful about such things. Now knight f8. Okay. But it will continue for a while. Everything is consolidating white. Now this is the moment I want to enter. Pass one has been created. Here, White made a mistake. In my opinion, White should not have played the move B2. This is a mistake. Here, he should not have played this. Why should you do that? Find out what you could do as White. I don't understand Grandmaster Peter Anders. First, he avoided the Bishop exchange. Then why should you go? Huh? What is wrong? The simple BB2, White holds the advantage. The simple BB2. Very simple move. But he made this bad move. I don't understand why. This is nothing now. The knight is better than the bishop. Now the pass pawn is of little value. Lost. You should win the game now. From a wonderful position. What about queen b6 before knight? Okay, I will go back to your answer question. What about queen b6? Okay. Before, okay, you mean to say now instead of this move, queen. This is not a good move, Ramakrishna. The main idea of the move to so that the bishop comes here to giving exchange the good bishop, bad bishop. But here knight f3 is better. Now bd7, now be2. Now bishop here. Here I can play c4. This is good for white. Now bishop takes, I take d5. Now knight will come. And pawn into is bad. This is queen into pawn. I think white stands advantage. White is having a good game here. Very comfortable advantage. So and if you give check, this is also not going to work. If you give check, I will play maybe knight d2 and pawn into pawn. No, if you give check, what I am going to do? No, 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 no. Check. Yeah, this should be good. This should be good. Maybe I will play a3 now. Push the queen from the pin. Because if I castle, then you may play c3. So push him away. I think queen e2 should be good enough. Good enough for an advertisement. Good enough for advantage. So queen b6 is no problem. I will Ramakrishna knight f3 and now d2 and c4 is advantage. So okay, here knight f3. Now you play knight c6. Now it will transpose into the main line. Okay, you can play a3, you can play b2. Okay, and this is sort of what is that gambit? This is not a great gambit because in this case now you can play bishop d7. Okay, now this is losing lot of time. All right. So in the actual game, mistakes by both sides, but he missed this simple good move on this move here. This is a simple move. Here he could have played in this position. Simple b2 and rook c8. Fantastic position. Okay. So I would like to leave all this. Maybe I will do one End game, one or two end game. Let us go. Not this pile. Some elementary simple positions. Okay. Now this particular position, black is Grandmaster Asak Petrosian. My question to you, now black is winning a pawn. Black is winning a pawn by playing rook into pawn, rook into, and then bishop into knight. Getting exchange. So you will be getting exchange and the pawn is gone. So my question, should black take the pawn or not? Okay, that is Miller-Bari gambit. Ramakrishna, I had forgotten. That is Miller-Bari gambit. Now my question in this diagram, I want to ask you, black is winning a pawn. So should black take the pawn? Yes. Ramakrishna says no. Correct answer. Correct answer. Because the whole point is if you take the pawn, white is getting counter play. Now rook takes pawn, you will lose the eighth rank. Now rook into I will take, he will take it. Now check the eighth rank. You are getting the pawn but leaving the eighth rank. And now rook will join. Betting attack. Now you will take, the idea is to play bishop here and then mate. क्या करेगा अभी? I'm sorry. Ramakrishna, your judgment was correct. Black should not have taken the pawn. अभी फंस गया, वो क्वीन एक्सचेंज करेगा. नो नो एक्सचेंज, रुक. नो नो, the threat is, my threat is simple. Bishop comes. So the only move. There is no other move. No other move. If you play g6, queen f7 mate. Only move. Now white is winning. White is winning now. Idea mate in two. Idea pawn check and queen checkmate. Pawn check, king has to come to g5. After pawn check, king cannot go back. And if he comes pawn check, queen f4 mate. So he defends. He defends that. Rook. This is bad move. Here, white is winning simply by h5 check. Idea, king g5 only move, but then just pull the bishop. f4 mate. अभी कौन बचाएगा? कौन बचाएगा मेट को? गणपत हो गया. But sometimes time trouble, all this thing plays a role. White in time trouble makes a mistake here. Instead of h5 check, king, and then unstoppable mate. No, he can play b5 or e5 temporary, but instead of that, he plays the bad move. Idea h5 mate. But this is now suddenly black gets counterplay. No more attacking. कुछ नहीं होगा अभी, सब कुछ बदल गया. No, chess is like that. Sometimes you give a lesson, sometimes your opponent gives you a lesson. So, from a winning position, he played correctly and avoided everything, but he missed a simple h5 check. अब तो गया, गया अभी, गणपत हो गया. So here, the simple move. After the move, h5 check, all over. All over. But careless, this. Okay. So, I leave now, friends. I will write back tomorrow, 9:30, for the next class. I will discuss some opening lines. I guess I should discuss some opening variation, because थोड़ा एंड गेम मिडिल गेम हुआ थोड़ा दिन, थोड़ा ओपनिंग हुआ, अभी थोड़ा ओपनिंग का कुछ लाइन में सोचूंगा, along with some good tactical puzzles and end game I will do tomorrow. Thank you very much. सबको मेरा नमस्कार. Take care. Bye.